Yes. So welcome everyone to the Monday noon Zoom for Chamber of Commerce in Fortuna. I'd like to, Mary Bowinkle is going to lead us today in the pledge.
All right, please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Renee, do we have the agenda to pull up today?
No, because it's the same agenda.
Got it.
Fake it. All right.
Do we have any new members or guests today that would like to introduce themselves?
Probably me. Hi, my name is Kelly Clay. I am with Laco Associates along with Madison Green joining today. And yeah, I'm excited to hear about the Rotary and what they have going on today.
Welcome, Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
All right, Renee, announcements?
Yes, let's see. So obviously the big one is our upcoming virtual mixer. It's our Halloween Spooktacular with US Bank Fortuna. That'll be at 5:30 on October 21st. We're gonna have games and probably maybe a contest, some kind of a contest, either with your most wonderfully decorated face mask or maybe a costume contest. And then we'll have other games plus door prizes and a raffle. So visit our website, fortunachamber.com/spooktacular. It's also listed under the events tab for the October mixer. So you can sign up, register for a door prize and purchase raffle ticket. So I'm excited about that. Should be a good time with our host, Brian Gonzalez. Next week, our featured speaker will be Emily Kirsch from Eddie Alexander. For those who aren't aware, Eddie Alexander is the Virginia-based marketing firm that the city of Eureka hired to redo their marketing campaign. They launched their Resilient Eureka campaign back in June, so she'll give us an update on that. Kind of looking at the process of putting that together and then what else they've got going on. And then maybe some market trends as far as marketing during COVID times. Our scavenger hunt, which ran from October 2nd to 9th, ended. And we had 45 teams sign up. We had over 700 submissions. We had 41 missions in total. And out of those 41 missions, we had over 700 submissions by the competing teams. It came down to 8 teams, literally separated by 2 seconds. So our first place team was Beth Bailey and family, and she came, I believe, on Thursday to pick up her winnings, which was $500 in redeemable gift certificates that the chamber purchased from 11 of our local merchants. So a great way to support Fortuna, get out and see what Fortuna has to offer. And then also a lot of the interactions with the businesses was really fun. The submissions were great. It was really fun for me to see all of them. And thank you also to the businesses who did sponsor a mission. It was really appreciated. And I think we had really good reaction to it. It's certainly something that families can do socially distance, which is great in times of COVID. And so we're looking forward to doing another one, possibly around the holidays, maybe combined with some kind of a shop local campaign. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of shop local, one of the subcommittees under the COVID Economic Resiliency Consortium that the Fortuna Chamber and other bids and other organizations in the county are part of, we created a Go Local, Shop Local subcommittee that's ran by Alana Powell from Humboldt Made. And so we're looking for some of our local businesses to record a 30 to 60 second PSA on their phone, talking about why they want why shopping local is important, what they like about Fortuna. Each jurisdiction will be doing it. So for our members who aren't located in Fortuna, please reach out to your respective chamber and they will help you with that PSA. You can also record a video for that. So I've reached out to a few of you already. Hopefully we can get that going. We'll have some overlays. It's under the umbrella of Choose Humboldt, and then each city will have its own shop hashtag. So Shop Fortuna, Shop Ferndale, Shop Eureka, etc. So if you're interested, just reach out to me at the chamber, and I can help you with that. Get some photos and social media campaigning going for you with that. Let's see, on Friday, we did a ribbon cutting at Lost Coast Wizards. They just took over the Main Street location where Rain All Day Books used to be. So that was a lot of fun. It's great to see some of our businesses expanding even during COVID. So that's a really good positive sign. So we did that on Friday. We have another ribbon cutting. We're going to do Green's Pharmacy. Finally, we're going to do a ribbon cutting for that beautiful mural that was painted by Helen Rust. She's a local artist, and we'll do that at 8:45 a.m. on the 29th. Masks will be required. We're limiting the number of people in the photos, obviously, but if you happen to be there that early and you want to be in the picture, we won't say no. And that's all I've got for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. And do we have any announcements from any members today?
I just, I am unmuted, right? Yes. I just want to give a shout out to Renee about the great job she did on the scavenger hunt. It was a lot of work, I'm sure, for her and all the businesses, but I had a great time doing it with my grandson and talking to some of the businesses and getting around town. And it was a kind of a great thing for him too, because he didn't know where half this stuff was. So, you know, and he lives in Fortuna. So way to go, Renee. I hope we can do another one at Christmas and, you know, get more people, you know, involved. So way to go.
I definitely echo that, Becky. I saw a lot of, you know, being a stop where people came in as one of the challenges, and a lot of great positive feedback was heard. So I definitely hope it's something that we can continue. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our speaker today, Brian Gonzalez from the Noon Fortuna Rotary Club. It's all yours.
All right, thank you. Let me share my screen. Hey, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so I am the club president for Fortuna Noon Rotary. Fortuna does have two clubs. So we have our Sunrise Rotary, who gets up bright and early on Wednesdays and meets at 7 a.m. I am not an early riser, so I chose Fortuna Noon Rotary, and I've been involved for a few years now. And this year is quite the year to be club president, because with COVID and everything like that, it has challenges in itself. So yay for being club president this year. So on the top, right above the Noon Rotary, is our this year's logo. So there's Rotary International. So Rotary is a local service club, but I mean, we're more than just local. We are in local communities, local cities, counties, regions, districts, and then we are also international. So our international club president gets to choose the theme every year for Rotary. And this year it is Rotary Opens Opportunities, hence the 3 doors right there on the right. So that is the theme this year. And we definitely utilize opportunities in our communities and globally. So let me get it started. First, let me introduce myself. So my name is Brian. I manage the U.S. Bank here in town. I have my wife of 10 years this year, and our kids. We have our oldest, Ryan, and then we have Brooklyn, Romeo, and Manolo. So 4 kids, 3 boys, 1 girl. That is my family in a nutshell. My wife is a flight attendant for United, so things are a little challenging right now, not just for Rotary, but for careers and things like that. So I know there's a lot of challenges with COVID and whatnot. So I know we're all affected in some way or another. That's my family in a nutshell. So Rotary. A little bit of history, a little bit about the service club, and a little bit of impact on COVID is what I'll be going over. So Rotary has, our motto is service above self. So everything we do, we kind of think service above self. There is a test that we think of, that we say and do. Typically every club meeting, we try to choose someone. It's kind of what we live by and go off of. So the first thing, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships, and will be beneficial to all concerned? So that is what is on our mind when we kind of think of what we're going to be doing and what we, how we are as a club. So a little bit about the history. Paul Harris, he is the founder of Rotary. He was born on April 19th of 1868, I should say, Wisconsin, USA. At the age of 3, he moved to Wallingford, Vermont, where he grew up with the care of his paternal grandparents. He attended the University of Vermont and Princeton University. He received a law degree from the University of Ohio, or Iowa, can't even read, of 1891. In 1896, he settled in Chicago and opened up a law practice. 4 years later, he met an attorney, Bob Frank, for dinner at Chicago's North Side. They walked around the area, stopping at the local shops along the way. Harris was impressed that Frank was friendly with many of the shopkeepers. He had not seen this kind of camaraderie among businessmen since moving to Chicago, and wondered if there was a way to channel it, because it reminded him of growing up in Wallingford. The thought persisted that I was experiencing only what had happened to hundreds, perhaps thousands of others in the great city. I was sure that there must be many other young men who had come from farms and small villages to establish themselves in Chicago. Why not bring them together? And others, if others were longing for fellowship as I was, something would come of it. Harris eventually persuaded several business associates to discuss the idea of forming an organization for local professionals. It was on October, I'm like now saying my birthday, October. We're in October. On the 23rd of February, 1905, Harris, with these 3 individuals, met at Lohr's office in downtown Chicago for what became known as the first Rotary Club meeting. In February of 1907, Harris was elected the president of the Club of Chicago. Towards the end of his presidency, he worked to expand Rotary beyond the city. Some club members resisted, not wanting to take the additional financial burden, but Harris persisted, and by 1910, Rotary had expanded to several other major US cities. He is recognized for the need to form a national association with an executive board of directors. In August of 1910, Rotarians held their first national convention in Chicago, where the 16 clubs unified as the National Association of Rotary Clubs, now Rotary International. So that is Paul Harris there on the right with his wife, after visiting members in Bermuda. Let me plug in my computer. So, Fortuna, let's see. Sorry, my computer is lagging. Okay, so Fortuna, Noon Rotary, we were founded January 5th of 1927. So it has been quite some time since we've been founded. Again, 2 clubs in Fortuna. There's 7 areas of focus with the club. So the service club, we focus on basic education and literacy, maternal and child health, peace and conflict prevention resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water, sanitation and hygiene, community and economic development, and the latest one that we just added recently is the support the environment. So these are our 7 areas of focus as the service club. And with that, some examples here. Rotary International Rotary has been huge with polio and ending polio. So today, there are only 2 countries who, so in 1980, the estimated global number of to cases was over 350,000 per year, and the disease was still prevalent in 125 countries. Today, with the effort and everything with ending polio and the campaign, we only have 2 countries left with cases, which is Afghanistan and Pakistan. So huge movement there. We're really close to, you know, eradicating polio. On the left there, Rotary clubs. This is again on an international kind of scale. Rotary clubs have partnered with local organizations to install a rainwater harvesting and distribution center for 4,000 people in Madan, India. They also delivered training programs for women in the community and students in 35 schools. So some examples of Rotary on a global scale. Again, with the End Polio kind of campaign and efforts. October 24th is World Polio Day. So right around the corner, 12 days from now, we'll have that. I do have a little video we can watch that kind of just went over that. Let's see. Is it gone? Okay, the link may not be working. So some examples of our efforts locally, we, top left there was cleanup that was happening. We every year give out, with funds raised, we give out grants locally, thousands of dollars of the grants every year. Someone was really, that started the program Dictionaries for Kids, was really passionate about literacy. Again, one of our 7 areas of focus. So every year we go to the local schools, and you may see that dictionary there on the right. That might be a familiar dictionary if you have kids. That is a part of Rotary and our efforts to help educate children and continued focus on literacy. Locally as well, we have Art and Wine in the Park, and our Art and Wine in the Park, obviously with COVID that puts a ringer in things, but the fundraiser was for the Backpack for Kids program, which is part of Food for People. So the idea behind the charity is for closing the gap for many of our local children who, school children, I should say, who may have the stress of not having food on the weekend. So the Backpack for Kids program was started for keeping kids fed during the weekend when school's not in session, because they qualify for free lunches at school and things like that. So our annual fundraiser was for the Backpacks for Kids program. We also are part of the Youth Exchange. So it's a great program for students to learn a new language, discover another culture, and truly become global citizens. Exchanges for students are for any student age 15 through 19, and they're sponsored by a club, and there's more than 100 countries that we are part of. So here are some. We have Ben on the left. He was an exchange student. So there's different host families that go ahead and, we really collectively come together as a community, host a child. We also have outbound children that go to another country, and Rotary supports that. We usually pay for phones and things like that, and we have the host family. So we really do support getting our children out there and the youth exchange program. And then we have Pauline, who is there in the middle, and I forget the individual's name on the right, which is bad for me. Okay, so COVID. How has COVID impacted this year? So our meetings, most of our meetings, obviously, were done in person. We met at Hunan Village, 12 o'clock. Our meetings are typically about an hour long. We would go over kind of like this meeting here, some topics, an agenda, things happening, what's going on, things of that sort. We find each other. So basically the president would find maybe members. We keep it fun by, for example, Kelly, she's in our club. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Kelly. She went into a gas station a while back and wasn't wearing a mask. And they told her, you know, hey, where's your mask? And she forgot it at home. So things like that. We find fun ways to find people to basically raise funds for our local efforts, international, things like that. So our meetings are now via Zoom until further notice. It's been a little bit of a challenge because our club particularly, there's an older membership, and some of them were not really too stoked on joining our club via Zoom. They like the fellowship of seeing each other in person, having conversations, eating together, things like that. So that's kind of one of the reasons I did join Rotary was, you know, networking, fellowship, and then wanting to be a part of our community and doing projects. So our projects, again, are kind of geared and shifted towards COVID and COVID-related projects. So this year, our local grant that we got, we are working on hotspots when we have those individuals who were not comfortable going to school when, I mean, at one point that was not an option. So students who were not going to school and maybe cannot afford getting online because they didn't have the Wi-Fi and it just wasn't something that they could do. We have students that we kind of sponsored to have a hotspot, get the Wi-Fi so that the way they can attend school and things like that. And they didn't have the challenge of just having internet in itself. So our projects have kind of geared and shifted towards COVID since that's on everyone's mind. And then this year, I mean, since we can't see each other, I'm really trying my best to keep things fun. You know, we still have to fundraise. We still have a service club. We still want to help out our community, our local charities. International travel was a thing we would help. Again, with the water projects, individuals went and helped with surgeries and things like that in other countries where cleft palates were, you know, their surgeries were being done on and things like that. So we would send a Rotarian to go help out there. So there was a lot of global efforts as well that were really fun. And that's something that I've always wanted to do as well. So when things get better, I would love to go and volunteer in another country and help out. So keeping things fun. I've been celebrating national days to kind of still see Rotarians face to face and just keep things light and fun and whatnot. So I've been celebrating national days every week. I pick a day to celebrate whatever day it is. This is Robert Johnson with Green's Pharmacy, and we're celebrating National Prosecco Day. So we kind of just give the history, maybe Prosecco, and that, you know, today is the national day. And then I make a delivery to just say hi, see how things are going, and drop off whatever national day it is. So a few more examples. Dr. Alan French, we have National Just Because Day, so I dropped off some chocolates. Rotarian Justin Walker, over at Harbor's Insurance, it was National Root Beer Float Day, so dropped that off just to kind of put a smile on people's faces. We also have Estelle Fennell in our club. And Estelle, it was National Cheesecake Day, so dropped off some cheesecake. Also trying to support our local businesses during these times because COVID, again, is affecting a lot of local businesses. So stopped by the Plant Cave, got some plants there for National Indoor Plant Week. And then for those Rotarians who did join the meeting for the week, kind of put everyone's name in a hat and drew a name to kind of keep things fun and find a way to keep people joining the meetings. With our efforts, we are fundraising. So we have a lot of online things happening. So we have a fundraiser, 2 of them we have for our club itself. We have a fundraiser, raffle tickets, they're cash prizes. So tickets are $20 for 1 ticket or 6 for 100. And this picture has nothing to do with the one I'm describing now, but it's cash prizes. So first prize is $1,000, second prize $750, third $500, and fourth $250. So if anyone is interested in participating or buying for our fundraiser that we typically do every year at the River Lodge. And again, fundraising efforts go towards our local grants and everything that I kind of discussed earlier. Let me know. There's also another fundraiser we're doing for our district conference that we typically do. And again, fundraising efforts. So it's more of a local basket there that you can see a picture of. And ticket prices are the same, $20 each or $6 for 100. There's a Yeti coaster there that you can see that comes in the package. We have, I call this kind of the Humboldt Fall package, I guess. There's the I Love Humboldt mug, thing of wine. We have California, 6-pack of California Blonde, the picture there, air plant, and also a $50 gift certificate to Double D. So if anyone's interested in buying that one as well, it's much appreciated. Whichever one you would like to purchase would be great with us. It does not matter. We appreciate any donation. With that being said, that was kind of Rotary in a nutshell for me. Does anyone have any questions for me at this point?
I have a question.
Yes.
When will the drawings be for those, both the cash raffle and then the basket raffle?
Great question. I have that right. So our fundraiser for our club, we were supposed to have met October 22nd was going to be, and it's a great event. It's like steak and oysters or prime rib and things like that. And it's over at the River Lodge. It's a good time. So it was scheduled to be October 22nd. So that's when that fundraiser or when that drawing is. And then the other one, I want to say it's the same week. And it is, I want to say it's the 23rd. Can you see my screen? Am I on a different one now? Let's see. Yeah, it's the 23rd. So one day after the other.
And how can people buy tickets?
So we do have an option online. We do have a link that I can send out that Diana just set up. Oh, Kelly, do you have that link? Do you know?
No, I do not.
No, okay. So we just set it up where you can purchase online to eliminate, having to drive somewhere, give cash, do all of that. So we do have a link that you can use to purchase tickets. So I can send that out and have maybe Renee email it out. Good question.
Link on your website?
Yeah, I don't know. Diana had it. She just set it up recently. So I don't think it's out there yet, but maybe Renee can just do a recap and send out a link when you do the recap. Hey, Madison, you're working from home.
I did see it on Facebook, so I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
I saw Diana had posted the link to the square.
She may have. Yeah. I know it's all the fundraisers happening at once, all the raffle tickets happening. So there is a lot going on. And I mean, I do feel for the community and everyone trying to raise funds that typically would have an event in person and an excuse to go out, which I feel like a lot of Humboldt County individuals want to dress up and go out and do something and have dinner. So it's tough, a little tough this year with the COVID ringer, but hey, we're doing the best we can.
Right. Thank you, Brian, so much for joining us today and enlightening us. Do you have any other questions?
We're always looking for club members. So if anyone's interested in helping out the community and globally, let us know. Kelly's in my club.
I just put the link to your Square site in the chat box. So if people
Thank you. You're so awesome.
Want to grab that.
You're on it.
Yeah, and I'll also include it in our email on Monday with the link to this video in case anybody misses it.
Oh, great. I'm thrilled for that.
Awesome. And then we will see you on the 21st for your mixer.
Yeah.
Very excited.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And Renee, who do we have next Monday?
Emily Kirsch from Eddie Alexander.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And then the following week will be hopefully the Sequoia Park Zoo with an update on their skywalk. It just depends on their availability during the construction phase. So I'll follow up with them, make sure they're still on target.
Got it. Perfect. Well, thank you everyone, including Brian, for joining us today for the noon Zoom chamber meeting. And I'll see you all next Monday.
All right.
See you guys.
Great week.